do you think they're going to like I don't know, make it so that people can work from home if they want to, like instead of it just being like the
Oh,
required
like a
like go to work,
choice?
and then like people that do want to come into work they can come into work, and people that don't want to come they can just work from home.
So I don't see why not, because, like I said, I feel like that report is accurate. I feel like the production goes up tenfold when someone doesn't have to sit through traffic. Someone can get a lot more sleep, right? Like that's such a big factor.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's me Keyshawn, and I'm here with Raj, and welcome back to the Mindset Podcast. Today is Fan Topic Friday, and we're talking about basically anything. It's an open session. um if you guys want us to talk about anything, if you guys are in the chat and you want to send a message of what we are talking about, then you can. We'll definitely take it into consideration. We might even just make that the main topic of this thing. But Raj and I were just talking, and like, I don't know, because we didn't really have a real topic, we were just thinking, why not just talk about anything and everything that comes to our head? And that's what we're going with. So be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We post on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We also upload our podcast on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Anchor. If you leave a review on Apple Podcast, we will shout you out, and it helps us get better at this. So right now, if you guys are watching the video version, we actually have Valorant gameplay. Raj, because we're just watching Valorant gameplay, what do you think about the game? I don't know if you've seen me play actually.
I've seen a little bit of you play, but I've seen Carlos, my friend, play a lot, because I was in a stream like the day before the tournament, and I was just like, I was just watching what he was playing, and dude, this game looks fun to play. Let me tell you.
Honestly, it honestly is. Like, when I started this, I didn't think that it'd be like amazing. But I'm starting to learn how to play, and this gameplay actually popped off. I think I was top of the list. Pretty happy with that.
So,
normally I'm bottom.
Do you play ranked?
No, I play unrated. I'm not a high enough level for ranked
Oh,
yet.
okay. I was about to say, because I wanted to know what your rank is, because my friend plays, and he's a pretty high rank from what I know about the game. In, like, ranked.
Does this thing stop showing?
You know what's cool? Yeah, it did stop showing, but so I wanted to download Valorant, but it's not available on a Mac. You can't play it. You can there's like one way to do it, where you can run boot camp, and boot camp essentially allows you to run Windows on a Mac. So you could do that, but it takes up way too much space, because you're essentially running a different OS, right? Like on top. So my laptop just doesn't have the space for that. So
yeah, maybe you should get like an external hard drive. I feel like that would be.
I have an external hard drive.
Oh, okay.
I just
plugged in already?
No, it's not plugged in. I just like don't really use it. I have it. The dark archives are in it, but I don't really use it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know, I heard that you actually exposed me on your stream the other day.
No. I didn't expose.
Okay.
I was just talking about like some of the stuff that was on it.
Oh man. I feel like I feel like Valorant's becoming a game that I enjoy quite a bit.
I enjoy watching Valorant.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's fun to watch. But at the same time, I'm more of like, I'd rather play.
Yeah, I agree.
So
playing is better.
Yeah, so I'd much rather play this game.
It's a different type of game compared to like Call of Duty and all that stuff.
Yeah, but how do you play on a mouse and keyboard? You can't use a controller, right?
I'm not that good, to be honest.
That's the only.
I wonder if you can use a controller. I've never given it a shot.
That's the only downside, I think. Like, I can't use mouse and keyboard. Like, I don't think I'm good with it. So I would want to play controller, but I heard you can't. Like, it's only a mouse and keyboard game.
I mean, you're gonna be going against people that are like
pretty bad, because I'm pretty bad.
Right. The biggest thing of this game isn't really aim. It's sort of like knowledge, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, like strategy.
You gotta make sure you know where they're coming from, and you gotta be able to hear them. Sound is like the biggest thing because you can sort of hear where they're coming from no matter where you are on the map. Like basically if you're walking around, there's a circle around you that shows where people can hear you from, and then there's like a feature where you like slow walk in the game.
Yeah.
So like I'm slow walking right now trying to head to the bomb because I know that they were defusing, but I couldn't get it on time. The person ended up killing me and I couldn't like do anything, but it just shows that he heard me from over that box. And like I don't know if you know anything about sound, but I feel like in R6 that's one of the few games where sound sort of bounces off of walls.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. Like you can hear them below you, but it's not as like prominent as like if there was like no ground there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like in this game, it doesn't matter if there's a wall on the other side between you guys. You'll still hear them exactly like pinpoint. That's sort of like how Apex is. Apex, you hear pinpoint where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying Valorant. One more thing that I actually did, I got an emulator.
Are you trying to play like SNES games?
GameCube games actually.
Oh, GameCube game. You know what? If you somehow get access to Super Mario Baseball,
Yo, Raj, I can get it right now.
I will actually destroy you in that video game, and it won't be
Raj,
close. I am so good at that video game. Well, I was. I don't know if I still am. Oh my god, I swear to God, if they had an esports for that, I could have went into it. Like, I was that good.
Dude, I'm letting you know right now. They have Super Mario Strikers.
I never played any of those. Like I said,
right?
I was super into baseball, so that's the only thing I played. And like it was to the point where like I used to play on the highest difficulty and beat the highest difficulty like 15, 16 nothing for fun.
I only have 2 games right now, right? I have Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and I have Paper Mario because those 2 were like the best selling games back then, and I actually enjoyed them quite a bit. I wanted to get Mario Sunshine, which I still need to get, and I also want to get Mario Strikers, Mario Party, a lot of like old games that I played with other people because you can actually play with other people. That's what Yechu was telling me.
Like a multiplayer?
So, yeah, there's multiplayer.
Dude, who makes
so
this
if I want
stuff?
to play, I don't know.
That's incredible.
I really don't know. Like, how do you get servers for that type of stuff,
I don't know.
right?
Maybe you can
Or
make you can make your own.
It.
Yeah, someone's hosting it.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's incredible that someone's doing it though. I don't know.
But overall, I just think it's I was so hyped when I found out that I could actually do it. I didn't know like that's how it worked. And like I just hopped on Discord one day and I was asking Yechu like, oh, how do you do this? How do you get all this stuff going? And then he's like, oh, you just go onto this site, get this emulator, and then like if you have the games, if you bought the games, you can download them from before. So yeah, and then we ended up I ended up getting it, and I streamed it the day that I got it just because I was so hyped. I couldn't sleep after that. I was just like, yo, I just need to stream. And it was like 4 a.m. and I just started streaming.
That would explain your sleep schedule.
Yeah. I mean, it was already slowly changing, but
yeah, it's like a cycle. I tell everybody like your sleep schedule is so interesting because like I see it going around the world slowly. So like a couple months ago it was normal. Like you woke up when I woke up and you went to sleep when I went to sleep. But now it's like fully opposite. Now you start to wake up when I go to sleep. It's so funny.
I really can't keep it like consistent.
I don't know
tried.
why.
I actually tried.
I don't know
so
how
hard.
it's hard for you to keep it like I feel like that's one of the easiest things to do. Like just have a normal sleep schedule.
Nah.
No, because like don't you get stuck? So like okay, so for example, on Fridays I stay up till like 4 a.m. and I still wake up at 9 o'clock just because my body's so used to it. So like how did your body not get used to one?
I do, and like that's okay. So recently, you know how I was going on walks all the time?
Yeah.
I would wake up at that specific time to go on a walk, and like I would do that, right? But then one day where I wasn't going on a walk because I take breaks on Sundays, right? That one day I couldn't wake up at all, and I woke up at like 2 p.m. And like that's when I know like, okay, my body's already like trying to switch me over It's like trying to get like make me stay up longer and wake up later, and that's what's happening.
But why
Even
does
now.
one day make that big of a difference? Like, why is that
I don't
one
know,
day
man.
such a trigger? Because like for me to ruin my sleep schedule, it takes a couple days. You know, like when like okay, for example, when like the pandemic thing first happened and I literally was doing nothing, and I was watching Naruto to like finish the whole thing in a week.
Mm-hmm.
I slept at like 7 a.m. right? But it took me about a day to switch out, like 2 days max to switch out of it. And once I have switched, I haven't gone back. So like, I don't understand why it's so difficult
Yeah,
for you to like
it's
keep
just
one.
a problem.
Isaiah said, I have a good sleep schedule because of football. See, like, wait, you play football or you watch football? Because
He plays.
neither of those happen right now, I swear.
You know, preseason, right? For
I mean, is
for
there any
school.
place that's... Are schools open around the country?
Florida schools are.
I mean, maybe the one that shouldn't. Dude, when you told, I don't know who was told me. I think it was my parents told me. You go back to Florida for school. I thought they were lying. I'm like, wait, there's no way your schools are open right now.
Nah, I am.
So like the school's like fully
I got
open.
an email.
Like
Yeah, I
fully-
got an email saying they're like, "Oh yeah, we're looking forward to seeing your students again during the fall."
But dude, there's like 12,000 cases a day in Florida.
Yeah, it's really
And these
bad.
guys are emailing you about we're excited to see you. Oh my! I don't even know. I don't even know how. I don't know when we switched from stop listening to science to like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why we stopped listening to science as a whole. Like it doesn't work or something.
It's tough. I'm genuinely wondering what it's gonna be like if I do happen to get sick. You know, like God forbid, right? But like,
I mean, it's
I
gonna
feel
be
like
rough.
it's bound to happen,
You,
right?
Yeah,
There's no
it
way you
has to
can't.
be. Yeah, it's like if you're going to a university
With
when
60,000 people that attend there, by the way.
yeah, and the state itself has 12,000 cases a day. It's hard for me to like the chances of you getting it are higher than you not getting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just think like I don't know. It's impossible for me to think that if you go to class every day in a campus where like 60,000 kids visit daily, for it not to spread, for you not to get it within the first like
I mean, like
month.
you can. I remember we spoke about this when we were talking about like going out to get food, right? Like you're going out to get food. Like sure, you're the only person that's like interacting with one other person, but that one person has probably interacted with like over a couple of hundred,
Yeah. So like
maybe even like a couple of thousand,
yeah, and that came up
right?
when we were talking about like indoor dining versus outdoor dining.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion, just because you're eating outside, to me doesn't make a difference because you're still seeing your waiter who sees like 300-400 people a day.
Mhm.
So like, what difference does it matter if you're inside or outside? You're still gonna see that waiter or waitress, right? So you're still gonna come in contact. Obviously, there's more ventilation
Yeah.
outside, so like it's harder for the virus to like stay in the air. But like, I don't know. And so Dr. Bongi said it's bad for you to get it because your lungs are screwed if you get it, and you most likely need a transplant. So I don't know if that's the case with like everybody that gets it, because I know a lot of people that don't even have symptoms. But one thing I did see is I saw a picture of somebody's lungs after they had it. So they weren't even that sick. They were like sick where they were coughing and they had like a fever for a couple days, but then they were good. You should see the picture of their lungs. It looks like they were a chain smoker for 20 years. Like their lungs
Damn.
look bad. So like, I don't know. I feel like I feel like this is something that's gonna come back around in like 20 years when like all the like not kids, but like all the people that are like our age that got it now that didn't really get so sick, like 20-30 years down the line, you're gonna see like a spike of people with lung problems. And it's all gonna trace back to this. And like people are gonna be like, oh, it wasn't so bad then, but bam, Jesus, is it bad now? I don't know.
I feel like so my main issue with this is that it's gonna be a struggle for I feel like everyone's just like without a doubt
Everyone's just gonna
the
what?
kids that they're gonna get the virus just because there's 5,000 people that are like cycling in and out of the classroom, right?
Yeah,
Per
on
day,
a
I'm
daily
gonna say.
basis. Yeah, easily.
Yeah. maybe even more, because of
Yeah.
how many classes there are.
Yeah, 60,000 is a
So
huge student base.
I can tell you what they said. They said that they want us to social distance in the classroom,
How is that
where
possible,
people
though?
aren't sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. First of all, I have like 500 students in my class because we're engineer like majors,
Yeah.
and like that's typically the amount that you have. And the seating capacity is like 525.
Yeah.
So one, they're gonna need to remove the like amount of seats there are in the
Mhm.
first place and lower the classroom sizes.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to keep a 6 feet distance from everyone, which is the optimal distance,
Social
right?
distancing. Yeah.
Yeah, then you gotta remove like 4 seats between people.
Yeah, so you would have essentially like 1/4 of the student base in the class.
Yeah, so that's only like 125.
Yeah.
Right. And then on top of that, even if you remove it, you gotta remember that people from the other class sat in those chairs, right?
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed to be interacting with anyone that sat in those chairs.
Yeah. And obviously
So
you're gonna wear a mask, but are you gonna wear like gloves everywhere you go? Like, are you gonna like sanitize? Yeah, you're gonna have to. But then like think about your backpack, your notebooks. You're gonna literally have to like every time you come back into your dorm, you're gonna have to like shower essentially. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to like
clean-
have some sort of routine where
yeah, routine where you clean everything, you clean yourself, you wash everything. Like, that's gonna be a thing every time you leave your dorm and come back.
I already have that sort of routine right now. When I walk out of the house, I like my keys, my wallet, my phone, right? That's what I need.
Yeah.
And then if I go out somewhere to eat and like I don't know, let's say McDonald's, right? And I
Yeah.
pull out my wallet to give to the person. Not my wallet, my card.
Yeah, your
But
card.
basically my wallet, right? So I just I try to make sure that I get rubbing alcohol and put it on everything
Mm-hmm.
when I come back. And then I also take a shower like instantly because you gotta stay clean.
Yeah.
Bonky said, so in Belgium they're splitting classes, so I won't be able to follow everything at uni itself. Gotta follow some at home. Yeah, they're doing the same thing here. So here's what they said. They said we're gonna be having face-to-face instruction, but they're also gonna be increasing the amount that they have online instruction and hybrid classes. Hybrid classes are where they're like what you said, splitting classes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have like, let's say usually you go 2 times a week to class, right? Tuesday,
Mhm.
Thursday. Instead of doing that, they're gonna make it Tuesday you go there, Thursday it's online, which also doesn't help.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it matters as long as there's people going. And there's
Maybe
also
in countries like that are low in the count.
yeah,
for
I was just
corona.
about to say that. There's a big difference between Belgium. So I just looked it up. Belgium on July 23rd today had 360 cases. Today in the whole country. Florida itself had 12,000. It's just like you can't. Even Belgium is more cautious than Florida is right now. And they barely
Yeah.
have new cases if you really think about it, right? Like 300 new cases is really nothing for a whole country. So like, I don't know, man. Like, to me, I thought it was a joke when my parents told me. Like, that's literally how I thought it was. I was like, bro, you must be joking.
Did I even tell you guys? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't think you did. Like, I don't think many people know. And like, also another thing that's kind of weird to me is that like in March, so in March you came home, right?
Yeah.
Florida didn't even have that many cases a day in Florida per day, right? When you were instructed to have
We
all your
were the
classes online.
epicenter of this, right?
Yeah. So New Jersey was the worst at that moment. Like New Jersey had like 4,000 cases a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when your school decided we're gonna go online. So now that it's literally like exponentially worse, they decide they're gonna keep it open instead. Like, it just doesn't make common sense to me. Like, it just doesn't. Like, how does that work? I don't know.
Yeah, I find it insane to think that New Jersey had, I think, 10K cases at one point, like daily cases. And it took us 3 months for us to recover from that.
Yeah.
With everyone like social
With
distancing. staying away.
everything shut down, by the way. Nothing was open.
Yeah. So it took us 3 months with all of that for Florida to be like, yo, let's open up everything. We're at like 15K cases a day.
Mhm.
Let's just go for it. I don't know.
Think about it's going to take like a year for Florida to recover from that if they start shutting down, right? Like, and the crazy part is I don't think they are, and I don't think there's been a decrease in the amount of new cases every day. Like, it's just been consistently going up a little bit by little bit, like 12,000.
And if it's not consistently going up, it's like
staying
holding
that much.
there.
Yeah, it's not like going down. Like New Jersey right now is probably at like 300 new cases a day, or that it's been consistently like 300 a day for like the past month, which is not. So like, okay, so yesterday it was 389, which is still kind of high. So it's been about 300 cases a day since the beginning of June. Since the beginning of June, it's been about 300 cases a day, which is, it's not great, but it's not as bad as it was in its peak. In its peak, we were getting 4K a day.
Really? Right? Just 4K?
Yeah, 4K a day. It was like the highest, like 4,300.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought we hit 10K at one point.
No, not a day. 4,300.
Maybe it was like the total of like the tri-state area.
Yeah, that could make sense. Or New York was pretty high up. Florida has 5K plus new cases a day since June 24th. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, obviously, the state itself is a lot bigger than New Jersey, but I just don't.
The state itself is bigger, but is the population bigger? I don't think so. So
yeah,
in theory,
I mean,
because
the population
so
here is denser, 100%.
Yeah, since there's so much space, there's no reason for you to be coming into like now.
So like today in Florida there was 97. Oh no, yesterday there was 9,700 cases.
Why you say just 4K? That's so much.
Because mean, we're comparing it to Florida, and Florida is above 10K a day. So in that comparison, it's not so much.
Like, it's. I still don't understand how they're able to say, "Yo, we look forward to seeing you guys here."
The craziest thing is, man, like, so high schools in New Jersey.
Yeah, they're opening up too, right?
They're not opening up. It's from what I've last heard, which they've been changing pretty much every week. But from what I last heard, you fill out a form in the beginning of the school year, and they can decide, like the parents can decide whether you want to send your kid to school or not.
Okay, then. Yeah, I mean I guess that's up to your parents then, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say anyone that cared about their child to stay safe, they tell them to stay home. But that means they're gonna be like learning from online, won't they?
Yeah. Just like they did for the whole second half.
It's not like they're just voiding that school year.
I mean, yeah, but like at the same time, online learning is kind of a joke. So I don't know how. See, that's the thing.
It's pretty difficult for me. Not gonna lie.
I mean, for you're an engineer. You kind of need to be there, right?
Yeah.
So like, I see why it could be difficult for you for high school. Like.
Yeah, high school is probably just like a joke.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. To me, that's crazy that they're not even. The only thing I see here is that in Orlando, which is where your school is, right? They're having the NBA restart. So like they have a bubble in Orlando where players are not allowed to leave, and it's just those, like, even the staff stay there. So like there, it's in Orlando. So maybe Orlando itself is not that bad compared to the rest of Florida.
Yeah, I guess Miami is probably the worst, considering Miami's like, I'm gonna say, the party city. You know, everyone's going to the beaches, the clubs there, and all that stuff. Miami has that I forget, UMF, Ultra Music Festival.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I don't think any music festival is happening anymore.
Yeah, but like it's just like, I'm just saying, it's like the center of partying for Florida.
Yeah,
and then the beaches there are much better than like Orlando beaches, I think.
So Bonke just said Belgium is smaller than his state. So Belgium is 1.6 times the size of New Jersey. Because New Jersey is
1.6 times.
Yeah, New Jersey is 19,000 square miles. Belgium is 30,000 square miles. Now, if you compare that to Florida, Belgium is about 4.6 times smaller than Florida. So Florida is huge. Because Belgium is bigger than New Jersey, and Florida is bigger than Belgium.
I wonder if people are doing online, or not I wonder if they're asking people to come back to school because people complained about how bad online learning was.
I mean, online. I don't blame them because online learning, I honestly don't think you learn anything. I think it's bad.
Yeah,
In terms of
it's
like
that bad.
actual, like I took a bunch of them because it was an easy A for me, but in terms of like actually learning, I don't learn anything online courses. I think they're terrible. The only good online course that I had was with this like it was like a CS professor, and like the whole class was a project, and you had to create like an online forum where like you can create an account and then you can like ask questions, people can respond, you can log out, so you could change passwords. So like it was creating a form like that, and we had to do that. Like that was the end goal. And the whole semester he gave us like mad YouTube videos that he made for us to watch. And like if you followed the YouTube videos, you learned how to make it. Surprisingly, I learned in that class. I don't know what it was, but like the way that class was structured, I actually learned. But that's one of literally thousands of online courses that are structured like that. He
Yeah.
literally
I mean,
didn't talk
you
to
have
us.
classes like philosophy or psychology,
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that
yeah.
that
You
don't
have that
really
stuff.
matter too much.
Yeah, but this was like a CS course. And like he literally first day was like, yeah, you can do the whole project tomorrow if you want to, but these are all the videos. And they give us like milestones. Like, okay, so 1 month in you should have this much done, 2 months in you should have this much done. And like he just checked the milestones. Like people like what I did was by the halfway into the semester I pretty much had the whole thing done. And he saw that because my whole forum worked. So like he didn't really care. I got my grade in that class like halfway through the semester. But like I learned in that class the way it was structured. I don't know if like I don't know any other class that was structured like that though. Yeah, the professor really did help because first of all, if we had any questions, you could just rewatch the videos. He explained it very well. But like if you had questions, he would answer them for you. But he literally didn't talk to us from the beginning of the semester till the end. He like didn't say a word. He just said something the first week and then the last week. But we really didn't need it. It was more of like a you learn on your own type thing whenever you feel like it. Just have this done. How is engineering online classes?
Oh, terrible.
I feel like
absolutely terrible.
I don't know how you would do it. You sit in Zoom calls and stuff?
Yeah. So, okay, wait. There were 2 classes that were like Zoom class that I had last semester.
Yeah.
It was like I went there and I like sort of just sit in the class. First of all, one of those classes was like pointless, okay? It was engineering leadership. So it wasn't terribly hard. It's just like learning ethics and morals and all that stuff.
I was about to say it's like one of those ethics courses.
Yeah. And then there was another class which was, let me try to remember the name, Fundamentals of Aerodynamics.
That sounds
and
terrible.
That one was absolutely terrible. Like you'd sit there,
terrible.
you try to learn, and I didn't learn anything. I passed with a C, which is all that mattered.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
But I remember he stopped making courses like online exams, like tests, and he made it so that you'd have to do a project. And what the project entailed was like you had to try to learn how these programs are used, if that makes sense. Like aerodynamic programs where like you see the way the air moves around certain things. And I did not know how to do that at all.
Honestly, I think you learn more in projects though than you do in like a course. Personally, I like projects.
You see, I like exams better just because I feel like I'm a better exam taker.
I'm a terrible exam taker. Like awful.
Nah.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm bad at exams too. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I did well.
Nah, she's get degrees.
Okay. But like the project itself, I would spend like hours on hours on hours just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just couldn't.
I don't know. I prefer projects. I just can't do
I guess
exams.
it's like a business major type of thing.
It's like I guess. It's like a preference type of thing.
Because I know engineering, you get a project, especially if it's a group project, it is a struggle.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably really hard.
But Exams? I swear, if there were group exams, I think I'd be passing with A's.
Well,
That'd be so nice.
obviously. Oh, come on. Who has group
Yo,
exams? What is that?
I actually had a group exam when I was in high school. You'd partner up with someone.
That sounds
And
like the easiest thing in the world.
yeah, we got a 98. We got one question wrong.
Of course.
It's really bad, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I don't know. I mean, online learning is the same thing. It's pretty bad.
Besides that, Raj, besides me going to Florida, what about you? Any plans for you?
Yeah, stay in my basement and never leave.
And stream?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good set
Stream schedule?
schedule right now.
Yeah.
Not even like stream schedule, just schedule in general. So like, cause like working from home is honestly like one of the greatest things on this planet.
Uh-huh.
Mainly because if I were to commute to where like our office is right now, it's like an hour and a half commute. So hour and a half there, hour and a half back, right? That's like a 3-hour waste of time essentially, because you're just sitting in a train, because you can't even drive there. So for me, starting at 9, ending at 6 is honestly not bad, because I save 3 hours not commuting. So like I kind of
3 hours total, right? Not 3 hours back and forth?
no 3 hours total,
Okay.
which is still a lot of time at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty much at 6 o'clock I finish, and from 6 till about 2 I have a window. I like to call it my window, from 6 to 2, where I do everything that I want to do. So what is that, 8 hours? So almost like 2 whole days, right? 2 work days. So I have one work day, which is actual work, and then I have a second work day, which is like podcast, streaming, working out. And that's usually what it consists of, watching anime as well, because that's what I do now. But I like that there's like such a good balance. Like 8, it's a good split, right? Like 8 hours, 8 hours, and then I sleep from like...
You know, I don't even work, and I feel like I don't have enough time sometimes.
Which is crazy. I think if you work, you feel like you have more time.
But then again, like most of my time goes into like
Sleeping.
trying to make things better for stream, or like check out other people's streams, help them out. You know?
Yeah.
It's more like I guess you could call it
Still
stream
work
networking?
at the end of the day, right?
I guess
Like
so.
you're still like working towards something that you want to do.
Like
So-
it's very rare for me to find time to like just watch anime. Usually
True.
I only watch anime when I get food, because that's like my only time that I can watch. And then like after I'm done eating, I get back on Twitch or like try to edit an emote or something like that.
Yeah. So the way
Because
it's
I
going
don't
for
like
me,
hire people for
the
that
way it's
stuff.
going for me, I'm watching like 2 episodes a day.
Okay.
So like
so that's
one
not
at
much at all.
one at lunch, and then usually one right before I go to sleep, or one in between me playing Warzone, like in the pregame lobbies. Like I'll be watching.
Mhm.
It's like you finish one. So I don't know. That's like my schedule, but I like it because it lets me do, like, my current schedule lets me do everything I want to do. So obviously working, you need to make money whatever way you do it. So that happens. And then I have 8 hours to work out. And then after working out, obviously I shower and stuff, and then I work on the podcast a little bit. So like I'm always trying to find things that I can improve, like the production of it, or like you said, like go to different streams. Like I'm always trying to find people that would be into a tournament, so I'm always asking. And then the rest is streaming from 11 till or 10:30 till like 2. And like I feel like it's such a good work-life balance right now that it's insane. And like as much as this pandemic is bad, I'm not saying the pandemic is good. Let's just put that out there. I'm just saying working from home is very good for me personally, because not only does it let me work, but it also lets me do everything else that I want to do, which normally I wouldn't be
taking
able
that into consideration, I wonder why working from home isn't like the norm for most people.
You know what's
like
crazy?
What do you have to do at a workplace that's different from like working at home?
So for me personally, like half my team's in Indiana anyway, right? Like half the team that I work with is in Indiana. So like even if I go back to the office, half my team is still not going to be there. So like working from home is like something that I'm trying to do at all times, just because I just feel like when I work from home, I'm more productive. And I saw this on LinkedIn, where person was saying like their production in their company went up like 10 times of what it was when people were coming into the office, because now people don't waste time during commute, so people get more sleep, so people are more like alert.
Yeah.
Right. People are not really pissed off about commuting, because a lot of people get pissed off about commuting. I would get pissed off too if I had to take the train every day. I'm not a fan. And people are more willing to finish their stuff, because right after work you can do whatever, right? Like you finish at 5, you finish at 6, still got a whole day. So like production and efficiency and all that stuff went up according to this report. So I think we're stumbling upon like a new era where like a lot of jobs are going to be done from home. Like Twitter already said, they're like, you guys can work from home as long as like forever. I don't really care. That's what this Twitter CEO said.
Really?
Yeah. And like Rajat was telling me, so Rajat works for J&J, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna be working from home for like the next year. So like I could slowly, this accidentally will become a normal, in my opinion,
For
like,
a lot of companies.
at least like,
and then I would like
maybe like more days from home at least, like maybe, because like obviously that dynamic is important in terms of like if you're working in like groups and stuff, to be there in person.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of places are probably gonna be like, yo, okay, you want to work from home 3 days a week, go for it. You could come in.
Do you think they're gonna? Do you think they're going to like I don't know, make it so that people can work from home if they want to, like instead of it just being like the required
like
like
a
go to
choice?
work, and then like people that do want to come into work, they can come into work, and people that don't want to come, they can just work from home.
So I don't see why not, because like I said, I feel like like that report is accurate. I feel like the production goes up tenfold when someone doesn't have to sit through traffic. Someone can get a lot more sleep, right? Like that's such a big factor.
Yeah,
So like I don't know, I feel like it should become the
that's the
normal.
same thing with school.
Yeah,
Really, like the easier classes that you just need to get done, like I'm gonna say philosophy and all that stuff, I felt like having the ability to work on everything on my own pace and then just get it over with, because it's not something too difficult where you sort of just read an article or a paragraph and give your thoughts on it, and like truly sort of understand, like read what the professor said about that article as well, so that you can see what they're trying to convey to you. That a lot better than having to go to class, sit there for an hour 30 minutes, listen to what they're like trying to say for that time, and then maybe even drone off for a bit because you can't pay attention for that long on I'm gonna philosophy.
Because you're forced to, right? For like an hour and a half, you're forced to pay attention.
So like you might even miss what they're trying to say rather than seeing what they're trying to say like online, right?
Yeah.
So you're sort of making your productivity a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the case with, I would go out on a limb and say like 90% of companies that have been working from home are experiencing the same type of uptick in like production and work efficiency, I would say. Like I think that's like 90% of places, which is kind of ridiculous, but I think we accidentally stumbled upon something that's like gonna become the norm now.
There's always a silver lining to bad things. That's what it is.
That's true. And it's working from home this time. I don't know, maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're good.
Right. I feel like most of this was just talking about Corona.
Yeah, I mean, what else is it gonna be? I just find it crazy that your school is still open. Like, how?
I mean, in terms of like updates, for the real life, Corona is the biggest thing. But for you personally, is there anything besides just working?
Well,
like for me, it's emulator games, right? Like now that I know how to do that, I actually have like a setup which I can sort of pull up on stream if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay. So there's that for me, and then for you, is there anything new?
Yeah, it's got to be the PC. Like it has to be.
So the PC. Like making the official switch to PC. So this is my emulator setup.
Oh wow, it actually looks very good.
Bigger. I have the game changing in the background on the left side. So like those are the emulator games that I've downloaded so far. There's Super Mario Sunshine, you can sort of see. Right now this one's Paper Mario in the background. And like because emulator games are sort of squarish, right? You can only have it like take up a certain amount of space. So I just moved it all to the right so it takes up just that much. And then I have the other stuff on the left side, which I need to change now that I just saw the alert box. Maybe I can move the alert box to the middle
Yeah.
of the screen.
I think this is such a good setup though. I would
Yeah.
literally want to use this setup for most things.
But you can't do that for most games because
Yeah.
games are like rectangular,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
But this is such a perfect setup. It's crazy.
It's got the banner in the top left over here with the
Mhm.
event list, and then my logo over here, as well as this thing. I added this little thing where it's like a moving donation thing.
Yeah.
So instead of just like the newest donation, which I had before, it's like all the donations that I've ever gotten.
Oh, just scrolling through.
And so yeah, scrolling through. I couldn't do that for this type of stuff though. So
That's
that's
pretty
all
cool.
right. You can still see newest follower,
Can you do
newest
that for
sub, newest
cheers
tier.
and subs and
Nah,
everything?
you can't. You can't.
Unfortunate, because I think that'd
Yeah.
be sick.
They only have it for donations.
Nah, this is super
yeah.
clean though. I'm a big fan of this setup.
And then I also flipped my face cam. Usually my face cam was looking away out of the screen, but
Mhm.
now I have it sort of looking towards the screen, which I think is slightly better.
Yeah.
But I managed to fit everything. All I need to do, I was wondering if I should keep the chat box here, and I asked the people in stream, and they said, yeah, keep it. So I guess I'll keep it for now.
Oh,
Maybe
like
make
on
it a
the right
bit
side.
smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's
like
good.
we have a chat box.
I'm gonna get a. Yeah, our chat box is nice. It looks clean. I like our setup too a lot. I'm gonna get a. I don't know. This is just making me want to buy all the PC parts like now, because I want
You
to
can get an emulator and you can play these games. In fact, I feel like your computer can handle it right now. Actually, wait.
Yeah, but
Are
I
you
can't
allowed?
stream.
Yeah, true.
That's the problem.
Like this type of stuff I could have been doing like months ago, you know?
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how to do it because I never explored into it. And now that I did, it's like, wow, I have so much that I can do now.
Dude, I saw this tweet. Let me pull it up because it was like the most incredible tweet I've ever seen, and it was about streamers in general. Okay, so like, you know how like sometimes you do a job and you mark it on the resume as something like it could be like a simple task, but then you market it as like you dress it up so it looks super nice. So someone did this, but for a streamer, and it was like
so
the coolest way to it was the coolest way to show what a streamer really is. So this is the exact tweet. I'm gonna pull it up on the video, but I'm gonna read it for you. So this says, we streamers don't just play video games for a living. We have become very skilled in audio/video setup, public speaking, user/consumer empathy, task management and multitasking, financial management, self-discipline, motivation, brand marketing. Don't sell yourself short.
You see, I find that insane. Wow, that's actually really
That's incredible. That's like, no, but it's true. First of all, it's true. And B, it's like, that's literally incredible. Like that's literally what we like. We have so many skills as like a streamer / like
any job has those like abilities because like especially jobs where you're sort of like trying to grow yourself as a person. Those type of jobs like showcase the type of person that you are and what you do for yourself and like everything. You know?
It's like a whole level of like, this is like incredible the way it's worded, just because I agree with it wholeheartedly. Like it's the level of like dedication required is kind of nuts, and patience and all that thing.
Vineet was actually one of the few people to tell me like if I'm making a resume that I should put streaming on there, and I should like put it in a way that, because he knows that I'm like good with my words, put it in a way that it really showcases like what I actually do and why I do it, and like the traits that would appeal to other companies.
I agree. You have to, if you see, the only caveat to that is you would, if say you're applying to like an engineering job, as unique as it would look to see that on your resume, they won't give two craps unless you word it in a way that it'll also apply to your new job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know
Mhm.
how you would, like, you need a relation. I don't know how you relate
So
streaming
the
to
biggest
engineering.
thing, in my opinion, for engineering would be creativity, especially if you're trying to go into the field where like you're creating like the newest things that are like,
Okay.
innovations,
Yeah.
right?
So
So there's that.
yeah, so you
But
have
there's
to
also like problem solving and critical thinking, which are big.
yeah, but those are, I mean, in terms of streaming, that's very hard to compare critical thinking in streaming to critical thinking in
Yeah.
engineering. Like, there's just no correlation there that makes sense. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, I don't know how you would, and even if you would relate it, it would seem like stretch. They'd be like, what the, like, what am I reading? So
It would be really tough.
it is a good idea only if you can somehow tailor it to the position that you're applying for. Like, you'd probably have to
Yeah.
do it selectively, especially if you're looking at positions in engineering.
Hmm.
But I could see, it's tough, obviously, but I could see how it could apply. Also, like 90% of these places like don't even know what streaming is, so like
Yeah, true.
it's very tough to even try to convince them that the skills that you learned while streaming can be applied to your engineering position. Like, it almost sounds kind of crazy just even saying that. But yeah, that's something you should put. I think
It'd
you can.
be it'd be cool if I could like go into some sort of engineering that goes into like game design, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But very few think. That's why like applying to all these esport positions, I make sure 100% that in my cover letter or whatever I talk about like the podcast or streaming.
Really, you do?
100% because like
That
that
is so
applies.
cool.
That applies though. Like,
And you know what? I feel like that should be something for everyone to do. Like if you're applying to something that you actually like love doing, like let's say, I don't know, maybe if you're applying to some Dunkin' Donuts down the road, you don't really need that. That doesn't matter. But
yeah,
if you're applying to something that you want to do for the rest of your life, you should be putting things that you're passionate about on your resume just because
100%. I put
that's
everything.
what matters.
I literally so I put it in the cover letter usually. I don't actually put it
Hmm.
on my resume. My resume sticks to like actual my job, like
Yeah.
things I learned in college slash working. But in cover letter, you already know this was in my even the job that I applied now had the podcast in the cover letter.
That's sick.
And
That's
that's
actually
that's
insane.
one of the main things the guy asked me about when he first called me.
Really?
Yeah.
That is actually so cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're also very like nice, amazing people that I work with. But like that was like one of the things that really stuck out to him when he read my cover letter. He was like, "Dude, I found that interesting." Mainly because he wanted to start a podcast at the time, so he was like kind of interested. But like he saw that it showed like versatility, I guess,
Hmm.
because that's the way I tried to like word it. But like if you word it right, I think it could work out. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's very hard to relate. I don't know how you relate streaming to engineering.
But I think that's just like a good mindset to have when you're applying to jobs that you're very passionate about. Keep
Yeah.
things that are passionate to you,
Yeah, you just
and
gotta.
it'll match up. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Things that you're passionate about, you're gonna apply to, right?
yeah,
So like
100%.
that's why you're going to esports, sort of like esports organizations and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And like you tell them about the fact that you are running a podcast that does tournaments.
yeah. Well, at the
That's
time they
exactly.
did it, we didn't, so I couldn't say that. But you already know
Oh
I'm gonna
my
use
god,
that now.
Raj.
Yeah, now 100%. Like,
Like think about that. We host tournaments for people, set up teams, set up brackets, all that
yeah,
stuff that goes into it.
yeah. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just waiting till we're big enough to set up MindSet gaming. And like the plans that I have for that, I want to create. I can like word it as like we created a streaming community slash like infrastructure where like people came and to get like noticed. Like we provided that platform, and like that's
Yeah.
such a sick thing to do, or a sick thing to like. It's not a. I'm not trying to say flex. Flex is the wrong word. Such a cool thing to. I don't know. I don't know the word.
Mm,
It's not flex.
I'm gonna say market.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you could say that.
I would say show off, but it's not really like showing off.
Yeah,
it's
not.
like it's a cool thing to be proud of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
That's probably what
Okay.
it is. But yeah, I can't wait till we start that. That's my
Yeah.
plans for next season though. So maybe.
Hopefully, we can.
Yeah.
I feel like we are over the time limit a bit.
Yeah. By the way, did you know we passed 50 episodes? 50th episode.
Did we?
Monday was our
Wow.
50th episode. I didn't even realize.
Milestones. Did you know that? Actually, you do know. I posted it in the group. I hit over 1K.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
total
crazy.
revenue.
That's also a milestone. I can't wait for that milestone with MindSet.
Milestones going left and right, Raj. Holy.
I know, slowly but surely. Dude, I saw this sick picture that I put up on the MindSet Instagram, but they were like, it was something along the lines of, you could be working hard for 4 years, and on the 5th year you can explode. So like, never stop working hard or something like that. I was like, dude, that's so sick. Because that's literally how it could go.
That's just how it is. You never know when your chance to like blow up is gonna happen. Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it won't be there unless you keep like outputting, right? Like, you'll never even get the chance.
Like, if you don't try, then like you said, yeah, exactly that.
I got that from Hex, who's like pretty much like with Nadeshot, like my two idols. And he works with Optic, but he said that in his podcast. He's like, yeah, we blew up with Optic and like that whole thing, but guess why? Because we were putting in the work, so we had the chance to blow up. I was like, dude, that's so sick. I didn't even think about that. It's just an interesting perspective.
Yeah. Anyway, everyone that's listening and watching, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We post on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We also upload our podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. And if you want to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, we will shout you out, and it helps us, know what we're doing right or wrong, so that we can adjust it for you guys.
Yep.
Thank you again for listening to us. This was Fan Topic Friday. It was an open session, so we were just talking about anything and everything that came to our mind. We started off with COVID because we're going to need to be moving back to Florida, and it's going to be rough, but and we ended off with this, I guess, true purpose of this, like, having a good mindset.
Oh, pun intended, huh?
Yeah. Honestly, that's the goal for me, to be able to share something with people so that they can make themselves better. And you saying like you should be advertising things that you're like passionate about for jobs that you want to be passionate about, like esports and all that stuff. Like having that resume where like you have this podcast and you do and tournaments and all that stuff. That's exactly the type of mindset people need.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's impressive. I think this entire,
it all stemmed from that tweet, though, really.
Huh?
It all stemmed from that tweet. That's why I even thought about that.
Yeah, but that's, to me, that's like what this entire podcast is about, to teach people a better way of thinking.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, again, thank you all for listening and watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.